Welcome. In a previous video I removed this carpet from the rear of my Toyota Land Cruiser, and I'll put a link in the description of that video. In this video I'm going to be cleaning it, and I'm going to be using Super Clean, and this was provided to me by Super Clean, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you'd like some of this, I'll put a link in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the back side of this carpet is kind of fragile, so I've clamped it to some chairs. So hopefully I can spray this down and clean it, and the water will run off the front, and hopefully not too much will go on the back, because I think it could ruin the back side. There is plastic in between the top layer and the bottom, but there are holes where the seat mounts are. So I'm going to mist some water on here, then I'm going to spray some Super Clean on it. Okay, so I have that sprayed down. I'm using some gloves to protect my hands. So I'll let that sit for a minute. I'll probably put some more Super Clean on there and rinse it and scrub it a little bit with a brush. Okay, so I don't suspect that cleaned it all, but I'm going to give it a rinse and we'll see if we have any dark water come out the bottom here. So I saw a little bit of brown coming out of there, but it's kind of hard to tell against the concrete. So I'm going to go refill my Super Clean, and then I'll do that a couple more times, and I'll let it soak in, and I'll rinse it out, and all the sediment and stuff should rinse to the bottom and rinse out the bottom. Right now it's smelling quite a bit like wet car carpet. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so I've sprayed this down again and I brushed it in a little bit, and now I'm going to take the hose and I'm going to rinse it really good. I'll have the hose right up against it to force water down into the fibers and bring up any dirt and stuff that's been dissolved by the Super Clean. I find that I'm leaning over a lot, so I found this wand. Okay, so I've rinsed out the second treatment on it. I'll probably let this drain a little bit. I may do a third. I'll probably put my nose up to it and sniff and see if it has any smell in it. And if it smells, I'll probably do a third treatment. Okay, I give it another spray. I'll rinse it out again. Okay, I'm going to let that drain out, and I may put a fan on it here in a little bit. It is windy out, but the wind comes and goes. I'll just put a fan on it to help dry it out. So I'll come back when this is dry and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so it's the next day, and I had this sitting out until maybe 10 o'clock at night, and I brought it in. It was mostly dry except for probably a little bit of area down here at the bottom. So this was at the bottom, this was at the top. So when I was running the water through, all the water ran through this way. So it is possible that this would be the dirtiest part as of today, because it could have potentially carried sediment through the carpet and settled at the bottom and drained out. It's probably hard to see on camera, but it's a little bit brown here, so there might still be a little staining over here. But I have done the sniff test in a couple of areas, and it doesn't seem to stink anymore, which is really good. It also doesn't have this like nasty feeling when you touch it. So the padding on the backside also seemed to stay together pretty good. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. So one thing I could do now is Scotchgard it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet, but you can get a Scotchgard spray and spray it on, and it will protect it from stains in the future. So I'd love to do this to the rest of my car. It's just not easy to get the other carpet out, but maybe someday I'll do that because there are some parts that are really gross and really need to be cleaned. Alternatively, I can use my carpet machine and clean it inside the car. I just like taking it out because you can run a lot of water through it and really rinse out anything. So now I'll be putting this back in the car. Again, I have that video where I took this out, and I'll put a link below to that video. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.